Good evening, guys. We are back with another ECAC League of Legends match. I am Blythe Knight, and with me tonight is Koji.
How's it going, everybody?
So we have two awesome teams playing tonight. We have Purdue University as well as Fanshawe College playing, and we got some really awesome players. We've been stalking their OP.GGs a little bit before the match. Well, a little bit before the ban phase has started, and I think we have a really awesome match cooking up for y'all tonight. And I apologize if y'all hear a train. I live right by train tracks, and I hear it coming by right behind me. So I'm gonna mute for half a second.
Just as Blythe said, right off the bat, last week we had one of the other Purdue teams performing, and they played a really crazy game. A couple of games ended up having them with a 10K gold lead, and hoping to possibly see something like that again this week. Hoping to see if we can have a bit of a closer match, but I guess we'll see how that all turns out.
And it looks like the train has just passed. So we are in the go, and now it looks like we are just waiting for both of our teams to start up the ban phase. Now, when initially looking at both of our teams, we have a really unique and champ pool from both sides. Looks like we do see some meta picks. We see some Skarner. We see some Yone. There's some Mbessa hiding in there, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm not 100% if she is playable because she was just released in the recent patch. But there is some Mbessa thrown in there. Oh, and it looks like we are starting the ban phase, and we have a instant Fiora ban coming in from the side of Purdue. It looks like they really want to shut that down. The Draven,
Oh,
I
there it
called
is.
it. Yep. Their ADC player has almost 80 games of Draven with a 55% win rate. So I had called that the Draven ban I was thinking was going to be in that first three. And we do see a Jax ban from the side of Purdue and an Mbessa hover from the side of Fanshawe, and it does not get locked in. Gragas actually does get locked in. Another very big pick from Purdue's side. Their player has a very good win rate as well as a lot of games. And there's the Ashe as well. Ashe was another strong pick from the side of Fanshawe, so it looks like we are getting a lot of targeted high pick bans. From the little bit of research I've done, their ADC player on the side of Fanshawe had over 100 games of Ashe, so I can definitely see and understand why that is a why that's an early first three ban from the side of Purdue. And then the Samir ban, the one that I had called before we had started stream. Their ADC player plays a lot of both of these champions, and we do see a Skarner lock in from the side of Purdue. I'm surprised it wasn't banned, to be honest, because Skarner is really strong right now. We keep seeing the Mbessa hover. Is Fanshawe teasing us, or are they trying to bait something from the side of Purdue? Now we're currently hovering Rise, but let's see what actually gets locked in. So it looks like they're going ADC first pick, and they lock in that Ezreal. Ezreal's fun. I have my personal feelings about Ezreal. However, I think he can be really good if you get him ahead. And again with the Mbessa hover and the Nunu hover. Fanshawe's having some fun over here with their pick bans. So looks like that. Unsure of what actually gets locked in. They
That is
lock in
Timo,
the
wow.
Teemo.
I will say right off the bat, I like Fanshaw's Ezreal pick. I think Ezreal is one of those champs that definitely has the ability to lane really, really safely and offers a lot of really strong team fight, especially later in the game when he gets to about his 3-item power spike. Very consistent champion that can really honestly offer a lot to your team.
Yeah, and as a support main, I love playing with an Ezreal that actually kind of knows how his kit works instead of just like spam queuing the whole time. So I'm excited to see, and I'm sure Fanshawe plays Ezreal well. So I'm excited to see an actually decent Ezreal player, not the ones that I get in my silver gold lobbies. And we do see an Orianna lock-in from the side of Purdue. So I know this can be flex support, but I do believe this will be going mid with that, and Tristana lock-in from the side of Purdue. And again, I do believe this is going ADC, but can be flexed mid. So, but like I said, I do believe that is going to be their ADC pick.
The
And
Purdue Tristana pick is actually kind of interesting because when I looked at their P.GG, they didn't have a lot of games on Trist. The auction pick? Oh my god.
ooh, Aksha, Fanshawe's draft is spicy. I am loving this Fanshawe draft because it's not just like straight. I love these unique niche picks, like stuff you don't really get to see in pro play. Like pro play, I feel like it's the same, 20 champs, give or take.
Yeah.
So, and I love these collegiate games because we get to see so many unique different champions, and we do get some support bans, it looks like, coming out from both sides. Nautilus from the side of Fanshawe and Braum from the side of Purdue. So I'm curious to see who these last two bans are. Are we gonna get this Ambessa ban that they're teasing us, or maybe something to target? It looks like they haven't picked a top or a support, so let's see who's gonna get targeted. Alistar. Maybe? Yes. Alistar. This will definite. So if that's left, then who are we? I wonder who they're gonna pull out. I know their support player does play Rel. So I wonder if they're trying to force them onto that Rel. Or even a Pantheon. I don't know if that's Pantheon top or support. I haven't clicked on their profile. So I wonder if ooh, Silas ban. Thank you. I am an avid Silas hater.
Ow.
I
Just
would be
wow.
I I like Silas's character, however, I don't like playing against a Silas. If I could permanently no longer play against a Silas, I would be very happy. So thank you, Purdue, for that ban. And we do see a Swain lock-in from the side of Fanshawe. Looks like their support player has been playing a lot of Swain lately. Me too. I love the new skin. The Prestige Battle Wolf Swain, I think, is a beautiful skin and a wonderful addition to the wonderful game of League of Legends. So I'm very excited to see this Swain pick, and I'm hoping that Phantom does indeed have that Swain skin. That we will all be very blessed if we do get to see it this game. We do see a Rumble pick from the side of Purdue. Rumble's has been played a lot in pro play. So
Yeah. Talking about the
I'm
same 20 champs.
yep, same 20 champ. But I mean, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Rumble is strong, so I completely
Nah.
understand.
I say we should fix it.
Thresh. Ooh, we got a Thresh and then a Galio lock-in
Is that
from our teams.
is it oh god, is it Teemo jungle and then
Oh, that's what I was
Swain?
thinking. I was just looking at this.
So okay, it's or no, is it wait, no.
I
Oh
think it's
god.
gonna be Akshan top, Teemo jungle, Galio mid, and then Ez Swain bot lane. That's my current hypothesis. And
Akshan
then
top. Interesting.
I have a friend that plays Akshan top, so I think I may be a little bit influenced by that to think Akshan for top, but I don't see anybody. I mean, Teemo obviously can go top, but I don't see who would be the jungler then.
Yeah, because it's got to be Swain support, and I don't think there's a universal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually,
I mean,
Galio in the
Swain could be
Rumble.
mid Galio support, but I don't think that's what it's going to be. And I know Swain just got buffed, but I still don't think he's strong enough to solo lane.
That's
So
hard to say. I
that's
don't know.
why I think our what's up for debate is the Teemo and the Akshan, but
I'm excited.
we
I really
shall
like
see.
Akshan.
I do as well. I think his kit is super unique with not only all of his little grapple, but also his passive being able to revive an ally if he kills the person that killed them. So that can be super helpful in team fights, delaying team timers, quick resets. It's probably the biggest thing it helps with.
It's Galio top.
Oh,
Oh,
we have a
Wukong.
Wukong lock-in? Was that a... Oh, remember the Teemo was accidentally locked in because they ran out of time, so they probably
Okay.
they probably dealt with something verbally. They
Okay.
probably figured that out verbally, so that makes the most sense.
Galio top.
the-
Into the Rumble. I like that.
Galio top and Akshan mid. Yep. So that makes a little bit more sense now that we kind of fixed the who's the jungler question of the day. So now it looks like we are on a 3-minute spectator delay. So I think this game is going to be super interesting. I'm excited to see how mid plays out because the Orianna is... I don't think Orianna counters Akshan, but I think Akshan's going to have a hard time playing this matchup.
So listen, I gotta come clean. I've gotta be so honest. I'm an Akshan mid OTP. I have
Oh
like
no.
hundreds of games on Akshan at this point, and let me tell you, let me be the first to tell you, this matchup, it sucks. It's so rough. You're very correct. Orianna is a very hard character to deal with in that she can pretty much outrange you. And she can trade with you pretty well too early game. The champ's got a lot going on. She's a very strong champ, and even if she's behind, she offers so much utility that shutting her down in lane doesn't really do much for you. Orianna's a very good character.
Orianna is a very good character. And speaking of Orianna, do you think we're going to get a T1 Orianna skin? Because T1 won Worlds? I think that's the $1 million question right now. Who do we get for Worlds?
I don't know. Honestly, I thought we were gonna get a Galio skin.
Ooh, Galio would be nice.
I was
I
say
think
Faker had some nice plays on Galio during Worlds, so
he did. I don't know how active you are on X, but have you seen all of the memes of Faker now has more skins than these 62 champions? I always find that a little bit humorous to look at whenever it scrolls upon my feed.
that that is actually kind of funny. Actually, I didn't realize that.
I cannot name all 62 of them off the top of my head. However, once we find out who gets a world skin, Faker will now have more skins than 62 different champions on this game. Maybe less depending on who gets a skin, but I don't see that number going down a little bit any.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is really crazy to think about.
It
T1
is.
is actually like it has won so many like
And he's not retiring.
dude. Faker's a problem. We should ban Faker.
We should. I saw in an interview that he said he's going to retire when he, quote, feels satisfied. So I guess Faker is no longer satisfied. And what will it take to make Faker satisfied enough that he'll retire?
Dude, I honestly, I don't know if I live to see the day Faker retires, I'll be shocked.
Bro,
Like,
Faker's gonna still be playing pro play, and he's gonna be going up against like his grandchildren.
yeah, I honestly, he's a menace, dude. I love Faker. He's such a cool player. And he plays my favorite role.
And I'm gonna be honest, I think Faker, there's a chance. Oh, and we do have a pause. Oh, there looks like there's an audio problem, from the side of Fuel. So I guess we are on another little bit of a delay. Thank you for pulling that up for us so we can see. But yeah, Faker is a menace. I think there was a good chance he was gonna retire if they lost more. Or I think my hypothesis is Faker's going to retire when another LCK team can beat him when he's giving it his 110%.
Yeah, like passing on the torch.
Yeah, passing on the torch, keeping the keeping the W's within the LCK. So, and I think if they had lost to Genji and Chovy, and then Genji went on to win Worlds, I think that would have been his retirement. However, that did not end up being the case, and I will keep my opinions to myself. However, that's what I think would have happened if T1 had lost.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad T1 didn't lose.
Me too.
My boy Reckless needed a win.
My boy, the 5th trophy is for Reckless.
Yeah, unironically, have you seen those memes? I think that's so funny.
I've seen those memes, or the memes of showing all of Chovy's accomplishments and then showing Reckless Worlds 2024.
Yeah, dude.
Love Reckless. Or the memes of like the little Amelia hamster, and then holding a World trophy, and it says, "When Faker says for us." Looks like we are off of this audio pause, so we are going to start off the game. It looks like there might be an invade cooking.
Is it?
From
no
the
way.
side of Purdue?
We're not cheesing bot, are we? Surely not.
Are we cheesing bot? Oh, they have it warded. They warded it. They've been spotted. And it is not the Prestige Battle of Swain. I am so disappointed from our support player on the side of Fuel. That's a wonderful opportunity from Marshall. I'm disappointed to not see our Battle Wolf Swain, and the cheese did not end up working out. However, so it looks like we are going to potentially go back to our standard lanes. It looks like Skarner is going to be starting topside. Both teams, actually, both junglers will be starting topside.
Oh, the engage from mid?
Engage. Do you have a little bit of a cheese from mid? Nope. It looks like just a little bit of potential poke, no damage done. So it looks like no damage, no sums, everybody's safe, no need to panic.
I saw the little Akshan icon freak out. It looks like he started E and went to E and on Orianna, walking the lane.
That's what it looked like as well, yeah. Like we do have standard lanes and no lane swaps. However, because we do have the Purdue is being spotted starting their top side because Fuel did ward it, so they know he's top side and they can potentially plan accordingly. For the Swain. Swain did also start E, which I think is a very good Swain start. Ooh, it looks like a little bit of a scuffle going on the side of top. A little bit of a trade going on to both players. Galio having to use one of those potions, having to back off a little bit. Having to farm under tower. Not too crazy oh, I take that back. Maybe something a little crazy going? No, okay. Oh, look at that! Are we gonna have
yeah, I think Orianna might kill Akshan. Never mind. Nope, wait.
Oh, it might be the Skarner. The flash.
Wow, 1 HP
wow, Akshan gets away with most likely single-digit HP. I bet he was holding his breath there. And that is a flash blown from Eugene. So, yep, Eugene. Sorry, names are tiny and I'm blind. So it is a flash from Eugene, as well as Akshan. Akshan does have no sums mid, so that sets up for a wonderful regank from the side of Purdue. And it looks like, are we looking for some action on the bot side?
Oh, look at that damage.
I think Skarner's dead. Skarner took potentially one too many tower shots, and now Wukong's coming in for backup. That is flash blown from Thresh, and Wukong does take the first blood. Yep. Wukong takes first blood, but he loses his life for it, and the re-engage from the side of Purdue, the barrier clutch. The response from Fuel was amazing. That was a wonderful, in my opinion, was a wonderful trade for them. You have 2 kills and assists on your Ezreal. You have and you lost your jungler and your support, but I mean, Ezreal getting ahead early game is scary.
Honestly,
So
though, it's not looking bad just yet, though. Gold is about even in the bot side. We see the fat engage from the Galio here. Galio Q's out.
Gold is even on the bot side, however, we do have... Oh, there... I was gonna say, at the start of talking, we had a 800 gold lead from the side of... on the side of Fuel, but it looks like they are closing it to only about 500. So, still a lot for not even 5 minutes into the game, and it looks like Skarner's potentially dead. Oh, nope, he learned how to drift. We drift away to safety. We're wrong, and we're just gonna continue farming on. However, it looks like pretty big trade taken on both top laners. It looks like they both might have to retreat. Phantom does blow his flash to save his life, but worth it. Looks like our Akshan is taking a bit of damage. Like you said, this is a really rough matchup for him, so he really just needs to play safe, farm under turret, just try to protect himself until later within the match. And we do see Galio TP back to his top side. And Rumble is going to take the walk back. He is not going to be choice. And back down in the bot lane, Swain loses his life to Guma Yuki. And I think
Akshan's down.
Akshan is dead. That last auto attack. Oh, that is so unfortunate. One auto attack away from life. Actually making it out alive. That's incredibly unfortunate. We do see Void Grubs as well as Drake currently spawned. Is that a Cloud Drake or a Hex Drake? No, that's a Hex Drake. I am blind. I apologize. We do know that our soul is not going to be a Hex Drake. And we do have to watch for that Swain gaining stacks, as I just saw Shisana give one over. Swain, with Swain passive, he gets tankier every single time he gets a soul. So if he lands an E and recasts it or lands a W, he gets a soul, and each soul gives him some bonus health. So that's just making him tankier and tankier. And I'm interested to see what sort of build our Swain is going, because there's a couple of different options that we have. We can go Rod of Ages, we can go Leandries, we can go all sorts of different builds depending on what we want. And it looks like
that engage here, Tristana goes in, W out. There's a Q in the E.
Barrier from Tristana. That barrier is not enough to save her life. Ezreal does flash over, gets the kill on Tristana, but now he has to potentially try and make it out to save his own life. Are we gonna? We're not gonna be able to execute.
That's unfortunate. Wow.
It is curious to see if he was gonna be able to take one more with her before he died, but guess not. He didn't want to blow the barrier either. I think that barrier could have actually saved his life and allowed him to get one, or at least bring one down with him. But the equalizer comes down from Rumble, and the tower died. He's able to solo kill the Galio. And now we're starting Dragon on the side of... Oh, I just blanked out on the school names, I apologize. On the side of Purdue. Fuel knows they're there, but they easily take that Dragon with zero contesting. But Thresh is in a tricky predicament. He might end up losing his life for trying to place the ward, something I unfortunately too often. Oh, Tristana comes in for the rescue. Good response from Gumayuki. And looks like we have a little bit of another scuffle mid lane, a trade. Oh, Akshan.
Akshan are out. Oh.
Not quite enough damage this early in the game. Does look like both mid laners are gonna have to back. Oh, I think only Akshan is backing. We may see a gank to try and finish off that Orianna. Yep,
nice.
Wukong coming in for the rescue with the flash ult to help his mid laner out a little bit. I think everyone knows this is a little bit of a matchup. However, Skarner's coming down the river. I think Akshan might actually lose his life. We have the flash coming out from Eugene. Oh, and Akshan does indeed make it out. Single digit HP. This man needs to go buy a lottery ticket. He's having way too many close calls for only 9 minutes into the game. And if you remember that gold lead for the fuel on the side of fuel I was talking about just a few minutes ago, Purdue has managed to turn that around and make that into a 1K gold, over a 1K gold lead in favor of them. So those couple of extra kills they've gotten, as well as some farming, has really helped them. Their Tristana is 5-2. She's really gonna become a problem later on in game, especially depending on what we see her build. We already have Collector at not even 10 minutes into the game. So I think that's a little bit something scary that Fuel needs to watch out for, and it does look like Orianna rotated down to help out the side of bot lane.
It's looking like he's caught out here.
Swain is a little caught out. He might lose his life, and he does end up losing his life. We got that the Skarner ult, and the Orianna ends up taking the kill, hopefully getting her a little bit more ahead, because then she's going to become a lot more of a problem later on. She's going to be so valuable to have in team fights. Oh, Ezreal does not lose his life. His little blink saves him.
There's a flash, and there's the lantern. Oxford's going in though. There's the E. Orianna ults to escape. Good disengage.
Orianna ult was really, yep. That was a good zoning ult. That probably saved them from that re-engage from the Akshan. Just sitting. I think Akshan knows, yep, they're pinging it. Akshan knows Thresh is in there. Thresh, I think, is gonna lose his life. We got the Akshan ult coming in.
Super
good job.
First off by the Wukong.
Super low, yep.
R goes out. W to escape. Akshan follows up with the E.
Barrier. Oh, the barrier!
Tristana alive, escaping with very little HP. Very well played by Purdue's AD carry. The Ezreal!
Oh, the Ezreal! That's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate, because Yuki played that so well. However, that's something that Purdue does need to be aware of in the future. If you're standing somewhere predictable when you're low HP, that you can have that Ezreal ult sniping you from anywhere on the map. So that's really unfortunate. On the side of Purdue, Yuma Yuki does get sent back to base, but he has to watch a gray screen before it does actually happen. Looks like our Purdue team is starting up the Void Grubs. I think it's super important in our meta right now. These Void Grubs are so important because they give us, once you get 4, you get the little Voidlings spawn, and they just tear down towers. Towers are just a little midnight snack when you got tons of Voidlings stacked up, and we're already 3/4 of the way there for the side of Purdue. And that gold lead is sitting at about just over 1,000. So I mean, that's still almost actually 1,500. I apologize. Looks like I can't math either tonight.
Still a manageable gold lead. Isn't just too out of control just yet. Definitely still an even game. It could go either way.
Definitely isn't. We're only 13 minutes in, and it's still very winnable on either side. And it looks like both teams are attempting to prepare for Dragon. It is going to be an Ocean Drake. Oh, and it looks like we're trying to fight for river control. It looks like, however, we've made a migration to mid lane. It seems Purdue has regained their vision control. They are known to be on the Dragon by the side of Fuel. So let's
planning on getting it. Great.
Yeah, they're just gonna give it. That's totally fine. I mean, these are good Drakes to have. However, Infernal Soul, that's a wonderful soul.
Definitely going to be in a position where I think that Purdue's going to be able to get they're going to find a lot of usage out of this soul. With Orianna Rumble and Tristana, they're going to find the soul's going to give them a lot of really nice burst damage to complement their already really strong kits.
And on the opposing side, that soul would be awesome for Swain, Wukong, Galio, who has all of that sustaining damage. Stay in those abilities, and you're just going to get melted down even faster. So this is going to be an amazing ult for both teams to have. So I'm curious to see how the remainder of the game plays out. Wukong is rotating top, but so is Thresh. Are we going to see some... It does not look like we are going to see some action. However, Thresh is coming in for moral support and some wards. Wonderful job by our support. As a fellow support main, I approve. We are going to see a very heavy trade from our Akshan and Tristana. She is going to get taken down to about half HP, but has that refillable pot so she can regen a little bit quicker. We have some backup coming in from our Thresh and then our Swain, respectively. But it does look like Purdue is going to try and take this Rift Herald. Does Fuel have any idea? Oh, but this Orianna might lose her life over it, which, I'm going to be honest, that's a fair trade. Like, that's a more than fair trade. And if I were Purdue, I would have sacrificed my Orianna if it meant...
She doesn't know!
She
doesn't know! Oh, no. So, the little interaction there that just happened for people who may not know was because the Tier 1 was still up for Purdue side, the Tier 2 isn't an interactable object, so Orianna can't hide behind it to tank the Akshan off.
That... actually do not know that. It took my brain to process what just happened. I thought that he had just gone out of range. Oh, but we do see a... Was that a 2 or a 3-man Skarner ult? I can't count. People are losing their lives on both sides of the team. Skarner's low.
Flash from Swain.
Skarner does get away. He's gonna drift all the way to safety. That's not a bad fight. It looks like Rumble and Yumayuki loses his life, as well as Newt from the side of Fuel. So a 2-for-1 trade, which obviously in favor of Fuel there, and that closed their gold lead that they actually had. We're only about at a 300 gold lead at the present moment. So that fight, along with that Orianna pick earlier, closed that gold lead. It looks like we're kind of just
go in on this Rumble here.
Looks like we're kind of just preparing for nothing at the moment. Just trying to stay alive, farming. We don't have Baron, not for another 3 minutes. Our next Drake is in a minute and a half, so looks like teams at the moment are just fighting and farming, which it does look like Skarner might be getting caught out here by the enemy team. Orianna does get zoned off by that Akshan. Skarner is over here trying to 4v1, but does get out safely, courtesy of that Thresh lantern. Good job, Thresh. We love a good Thresh, and then we love good teammates that actually take our lanterns. That's probably one of my biggest frustrations is playing Thresh, is no one takes the lantern. Oh, Orianna is getting jumped on by the Akshan. Flashes out of the Orianna ult, but Thresh lanterns to safety. Thresh is going to tank that ult from the Akshan, so Orianna does get out safely. However, Swain loses his life, falls to Yumayuki. We have a TP in from both Rumble as well as Galio. Thresh ult goes down. Rumble ult goes down. Rumble kills our Akshan. No chance of revival from anyone. Ezreal is on a killing spree and kills our Rumble. And that was a good fight. I think a very good response from the side of Purdue. They only lose their Rumble there. However, because so many people from the side of Purdue were low and had to reset, it looks like Fuel is going to take their first Drake of the game and take that Infernal Drake. Right now we have Baron spawning in a little bit over a minute, but I think there might be a fight cooking in mid. Orianna has ult again in less than 10 seconds. So she pinged that in her chat, so we might be getting a fight actually in the jungle. Thresh throws the his Lantern and does a little bit of a trade with the Wukong. But now everyone's rotating top. We're gonna get a flash hook from the Thresh, and that's gonna be just enough for Yuki to slay the Akshan. And they do slay that top tower. That means top is free game to fight without any tower damage.
By the Ezreal ult. Looks like Swain's gonna get caught out here by the Tristana.
Swain does get caught out, and we do see our Ignite coming in.
Big
from
stun
the
by the Skarner, followed by the ult. That's another kill for the Tristana, giving her a 500 gold shutdown.
That's
sorry, 200 gold.
That's a dangerous thing to give a Tristana as a shutdown, and it looks like Tristana's going to become slightly more of a menace, and we do see a TP in from Orianna. They are gonna try and fight this. They gotta be careful. They're in between two turrets, and it looks like they're having some heavy trades between the Skarner and the Galio, but they're just gonna opt to take the turret instead. Back them off, intimidate them, use some scare tactics, and just take the turret instead. I think that's a very smart move from both teams. Just concede the turret, save your lives, and then just backing off from the fight and taking the turret, depending on what side you're on. Baron does spawn in the midst of all of this fighting, and it looks like we are just gonna reset a little bit, possibly set up for Baron, though I'm unsure if the 20-minute Baron is gonna be what the teams actually plan on doing. Looks like we are still just farming. We have our next drag in a little bit over 3 minutes. Right now, though, the gold lead has turned significantly. Purdue has a 5k gold lead, which I think is really significant for this stage in the game. Also, I'm sure that gold concentration is really heavy on that Tristana at 11 and 4. We have 2 complete items, and it looks like we're well on our way to completing our 3rd as well. So she's becoming a lot more scarier by the minute. And it looks like we might have... Looks like we're just farming mid. It looked like the icons got a little close, so I got a little worried that there might be a fight about to go down. However, while there isn't a fight in the mid lane, it looks like there is going to be one in the bot side. Rumble fleeing for his life, dropping that equalizer in attempt to save him, but it's not going to be enough. However, Purdue sacrifices their Rumble in an attempt to try and save this Baron. Yep, okay, that is enough to back fuel off of the dragon, is that quick response. And it looks like the Baron is just gonna reset. And they might try and wait for this Rumble to stay alive. However, that was a really expensive from the Rumble. He loses his flash and his ult's down, but it's on a quick cooldown, so I don't think we're too worried about it. And it looks like Akshan is potentially... No, not this wave. And then but I thought there's a chance we would have been getting our bot wave soon. However, Skarner is on the way. Akshan gets away, though. He has enough mobility.
Is he opting to back in here and try and get a pick here? Oh, no, he gets spotted by the Rumble.
I think he was gonna try and, like, bamboozle them a little bit. He's just gonna try and sneak away, it looks like. Try and stealthily escape with his life, which I think is the smart move. Now we've pushed things so back. We do have dragon spawning in a little bit over 30 seconds. This will be a potentially 3rd Drake for Purdue, or a 3rd Drake from Fuel. Which, again, it's an Infernal Drake, so these are so important to get. This is a super strong soul to have, and it would be so beneficial from both teams. So I think at this point, fighting for as many of these Drakes as you can is important, and the Rumble knows it. He TP'd mid to try to be able to get here faster, help his team set up a little bit better. Orianna and Galio both still have their TPs, and I think the teams are just gonna trade Baron for Drake, it looks like. Actually, no, they're gonna trade Baron for Orianna, maybe. I mean, sorry, Dragon for Orianna, I apologize. Yeah, that dragon just got melted from the side of Purdue. So now it looks like we only have Baron up for fight. I think that should have been fought for on the side of Fuel. However, they gotta play a little bit safe now. This gold lead is slowly growing by the minute, and if they want a chance at being able to take this game back, they're really going to have to play safe, play together. And as I say that, Akshan is on his way to trade off with this Orianna. Wukong coming in for maybe backup. It looks like just some more scare tactics. Get her to back off, fall back under turret. However, we do see, it looks like our Purdue team is wanting to take the Baron. Trying to set up for it, place some wards down, but I think everything is a little too tense right now. Akshan is spotted from his invisibility. Is he going to be able to get the Orianna? Nope. Is unable to finish it off, unfortunately.
There's the Ezreal ult, getting the shutdown, securing the kill, and giving him a nice shutdown.
Yep, Ezreal was able to clean up that kill, and it does look like Thresh tried to flash Q the Akshan, but missed, which is good for the Akshan, bad for the Thresh, but it is what it is. Akshan narrowly escaped with his life, but it looks like we're having another fight in the river, potentially for Baron control. Just looks like teams are gonna trade a little bit, though.
You see Skarner grabbing a rock. Looks like he's trying to get something here. Looking to engage on the Swain, and alright, backs off, drifts out.
He has nothing to get. He has no ult, so he kind of just. I think we're gonna play a little bit chill at the moment, potentially, maybe. It looks. Are we starting? We are starting up the Baron, maybe, maybe not. We're letting it reset again. So it looks like. It looks like we are just gonna try and farm, most likely, if I had to guess, waiting for that Skarner ult to come back up and potentially wait for a team to make a mistake. I think a lot of this game, yeah, they were just fishing for information. Ezreal does ult up towards the Baron pit and sees that nobody is on it, which is most likely a sigh of relief from the side of Fuel. They're still actively trying to close that gold gap. It's still sitting at 4K, so it did decrease a little bit, but it's still a pretty hefty gold lead, but honestly, still winnable. I've seen teams come back from 8-9K gold leads. So while, yeah, 4K gold is a huge difference, it's still winnable. Always winnable, as some of my friends would say, and it does look like Purdue is starting up the Baron, and they are melting that fast. Wow. And nice, they do very quickly take it. Yep, that's a very clean Baron take from the side of Purdue, and it does look like, oh, Tristana is
absolutely blown up by the Tristana. Wukong possibly following the scoot. Good flash, and Tristana dodging the taunt. Oh my goodness.
That made me a little speechless. However, Galio does ult in, tries to help his fellow support Swain a little bit, but Rumble wants blood. Rumble wants more. He is chasing down the Swain, flashes onto the Swain. Swain does fall to the hands of Orianna. Galio does his very best to get away. However, he also falls to the Orianna, and is this game?
Yeah, I think this is
only game. Ezreal. Only Ezreal left to defend the bases. Are we about to see the most crazy pentakill of our lives, or is Game 1 gonna fall to Purdue? I think it's.
Yeah,
I think Game 1's about to fall to Purdue.
Hold on, Akshan finds one.
Akshan finds. Did I speak? No, they were able to clear the Nexus. I almost spoke a little too soon. Akshan did his very best, revived 3 of his allies, but Game 1 is going to go over to the side of Purdue. That was a clean game. I was very happy to see the Akshan pick, and I was very pleasantly surprised to see that it wasn't a complete slaughter. I know this was a very hard matchup for our Akshan, but I think he played it really, really well considering the circumstances. He got away so many times on such low HP, which I think was huge for the side of Fuel. Yeah, it sucks that you're arguably almost getting countered, having a very difficult matchup, but he played it so well. He got away so many times. And honestly, I love this bot pick too. I think Fuel had an awesome draft, and it just they fell short on a couple of times, and I think that inevitably resulted in their loss. I am curious to see, however, how they are going to be changing up these drafts for game 2. Are we going to what are you thinking? I'm thinking same similar picks, maybe some different bands coming out instead.
I can find myself thinking that a lot of the bans might end up the same, but the big thing is that we might pick some more aggressive early game picks on the side of Fuel. Because the big thing that Purdue had going for them is that they had a really nice snowballing AD carry in Tristana, who has a solid laning phase early, and it can honestly snowball and run away with the game, as we saw. We spoon fed her a couple of kills, and she was just able to run away with the game. But the big thing would probably also be safer picks on the side of jungle. I think the big thing about Wukong is that it's a solid pick, but it can't be something you can blind into most matchups, because as we saw, we ended up having Orianna, Skarner, and Rumble, who just absolutely make Wukong's life so miserable trying to engage. I mean, there's a lot of burn, a lot of crazy burst damage, and a lot of displacement. So I assume we're going to see quite a few changes in terms of Fuel's picks, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Purdue came up with a combo that's relatively similar.
Yeah, I think they had a really solid comp. The Rumble and everyone on their side did good. So unless they change their bans or depending on who picks what side, I think that I would run a very similar comp. They played to their strengths. They played very well. They played so aggressive early lane with that Thresh Tristana. Once Tristana had Collector within what, 5 minutes of the
Something to
game,
that
or
extent, yeah.
yeah, something like that. And it just she was able to snowball the game, help her friends just get a little bit more carried on. Everyone played so well on the side of Purdue. Yeah, like you said, I wouldn't be changing anything unless I had to. But I think you're right. We need to see a little bit either strong we either need to see a stronger early game or a scaling but safer late game from the side of Purdue. And it does look like, I mean, from the side of Fuel, I apologize. They switched teams right as I was saying it, and it confused my brain. We are gonna see Fuel on our red side, and it. Are we starting draft? Maybe. Nope, not yet. And we are gonna see. We are starting draft. Now we are. So I'm curious to see if or how our bans are gonna change now that we started the ban phase. We are gonna stick with that Draven ban. I told you he is scary. So same two bans from both sides: the Draven, the Fiora, the Jax, the Gragas. This is a very
Mira,
similar ban
Ash.
phase. We are speed running this ban phase. Oh my goodness! I think these were the same 6 bans from the first time
Yep, they absolutely were. And we're seeing
as
Fuel
well.
taking the Skarner away from Purdue. Smart idea.
Hey, if you can't ban them, play them.
Exactly.
Purdue over here cooking with a Ivern Yone pick. I haven't seen an Ivern in ever. I'm so excited for this.
Leads me to wonder, so now that we know what the mid lane pays for Purdue, what does Fuel want to lock in as a response? Yone is one of those characters that you can really, it's such a coin flip character. Either you're going to find a lot of insane value or a Renekton. Are we looking to lock in Renekton as a possible flex pick for mid top into Yone?
Maybe. I, however, would hit the Alt F4 key if I saw myself going up against a Yone and I didn't ban it. Hence I always ban Yone when I play mid. I hate Yone. There's a lot of characters in this game I'm not fond of, or I'm not fond of playing against, and Yone is on there for mid. I do think that Renekton is going to go top, and it looks like we're going to stay on the Ezreal. So we are going to stay on the Ezreal for the side of Fuel. And I am curious to see how the pick bans are going to be affected further, because we know the mid lane on the side of Purdue, and we know top ADC. Pantheon. Now, here's the $1 million question. Pantheon top, Pantheon mid, or Pantheon support, or Pantheon jungle and it's an Ivern support? That's the $1 million question.
I'm tempted to believe that it's either going to be I'd like to think Pantheon top in response to the Renekton pick and Yone mid. I feel Pantheon's one of those champs that can deal with Renekton's really crazy burst kit relatively
Yeah.
consistently. And it can
I was
honestly trade
thinking,
really well in tow.
yeah, for sure. I was thinking either he was gonna go top or support. I was just being a little optimistic because I know I've seen Pantheon flexed in literally every role except for ADC. And we do get our next two bans out, a Hui ban from the side of Purdue and a Kaisa ban from the side of Fuel. They really don't want Gumayuki to have his top 3 champs, which those 3 are indeed his top 3 champs from his OPGG, OP.GG. We have 78 games on Draven, 55 games on Samira, both with a 55% win rate, and then 26 on Kaisa with a 58% win rate. So all 3 champs he excels very well at, and 3 champs I can understandably see the bans for. So are we gonna... It looks like Purdue does concede their...
So it looks like the draft
final
is currently
ban.
bugged. The draft is
the
we are
draft
looking with
is
a
bugged.
karma ban.
That is a karma ban. We just got insider... We got insider knowledge. The draft is bugged. Oh, draft is bugged for everyone.
We'll
So
be
it
right
looks like
back
there is
once
some
we get this draft
technical
situation figured out.
difficulties from the side of draft lol.
There is a rumble ban.
Okay,
Yeah,
it
just
looks like
opting to put it in
teams
chat.
are just gonna it looks like teams are just gonna type it out privately. So it looks like we are gonna be in for a surprise, seeing who our support and mid laner are from the side of Fuel, and seeing who our ADC and either top or support is, depending on where this Pantheon goes. Seeing our top... Oh, is our draft lol back?
Possibly.
It looks like draft lol is back, and they had that brand Braum Rumble hover, so they are banning the Rumble. It looks like Fuel determined that this Rumble was a problem during the game, which I can agree. Rumble with that equalizer during team fights, especially if you want to flash onto it afterwards, that's detrimental for any team. So that's a really good ban on the side of Fuel. I was about to say, wait, we're missing a ban, but then I remembered it bugged, and it is the karma. And draft lol might be bugged again. Yeah,
it seems
was bugged.
Seems Purdue might be having some issues with the draft.
Draft lol is doing its best. Honestly, I can relate. They did pick the Braum. Oh, which side picked Braum is the question, because we got insider knowledge that Purdue potentially picked Braum, but Fuel just locked it in. Oh, from Marshall's side, okay. It does look like Braum is going over to Fuel. And it's potentially bugged again because Fuel has been quick about their picks. Oh, there we go. It's a Gwen. Ooh, you might be right. This Renekton may have been got
They,
flexed
yeah,
mid as an answer for the Yone, because I don't see Gwen going mid. However, I think she would be good against the Yone because she can just go, Gwen is immune.
leads
So,
me to believe then that Pantheon might actually be the support pick then.
yeah. Okay, so Purdue did lock in Nautilus. Well,
As the
they
support?
verbally locked in Nautilus as that fourth pick,
So it is going to
and
be either
Nyla for the fifth.
Pantheon. This Pantheon could also
Top.
be a flex pick then, right? Because I mean, you can go
It's
Yone
gonna be
top or Pantheon top. Like this is they've
true.
got two flexes here, and they're
I
picking Nyla for the
do.
80 carry on Purdue side. Another really interesting pick.
I love Purdue's drafts. I love that they're picking off meta. It makes my heart so happy. Um, so it does look like we are gonna have Nyla not bot lane, and then we're gonna have Yone and Pantheon. It's gonna be a treat for us to see, however, where they're locked in. However, according to the op.ggs, it does look like the Yone is gonna be mid. Yep, and the Pantheon top. We got a cheesy little Mbessa hover from Wardy. I am led to believe that Mbessa is banned, and that is why the teams are cheesing the hover a little bit. And Mbessa is League of Legends' newest character that has 80,000 million dashes, and every ADC main is in shambles at the moment as a result.
You know, I think it's kind of funny. You talk about how you dislike Silas, and then Riot just goes ahead and releases 80 Silas. What are your thoughts on that?
I decline to answer. I have not played a game of League of Legends since Mbessa has been released. And I think I'm going to be sticking to ARAMs because I need to finish my battle pass. I think I'm going to be sticking to ARAMs until we get our first round of Mbessa nerfs. And then I'm going to hope for the best.
That's a pretty fair it's a pretty fair go around. I won't lie, she's fun. In the few games I've played
Oh
of her,
no.
I went and took her and played her mid lane. I thought that was a heck of a time. I actually thought she's a phenomenal champion. She's really, 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 really fun.
She's fun to play, not to play against. I would not want to play against her, I don't think. However, I feel like Mbessa is, at least right now, from what I've heard of my friends, 100% pick or ban. It's either if you don't ban her, then she's getting picked instantly.
I mean, I guess that's not incorrect. My personal take is that there's just a lot of people who want to try the champ, so it is really pick ban right now. I don't particularly know how I feel about the strength of the champion. It's too early to tell, but the champion very feast or famine. Either you're playing to get super ahead, or you're just getting absolutely pub stomped. I mean, the champion has a lot of hard counters, at least in top lane, in terms of like what it can and can go up against. Another champion that you really can't also blind pick either. I mean, just on this comp alone, like I think Pantheon and Renekton are really two really difficult characters for the champion to deal with because you can't dodge, you can't dash past the point and click. No amount of dashing is gonna stop a point and click.
I need that on a t-shirt. No amount of dashes can stop a point and click. That's t-shirt material right there. I am very excited to see our mid matchup, which I guess is kind of like top junior, if you think about it, because both of these characters also commonly are found in the top lane. So we have top lane 1, jungle, top lane 2, and then our bot lane this game, it seems.
I'm excited to see the bot lane. I think Nile is one of those characters that doesn't get enough, I guess, showtime per se, and I think she's a really strong champion. I think that with her passive being designed the way it is, even if she's behind, quote unquote, it's so hard to put her out of the game. I think she's such a cool champion too. She has a lot of really unique interactions, and she's got a lot of really cool, I guess. She's just a cool character, just period. I can't gush enough about how awesome I think Nyla is, and she doesn't get played enough.
And I think pairing her with a support like Yone, it's like, I mean, I'm staring at Yone and I said Yone, but I meant Nautilus. Pairing her with a support like Nautilus, where you just have to CC and you're in, and then Nyla can just dash and ult. That's detrimental to a team fight. Excuse me. Purdue has such a strong team fight, in my opinion. You have Yone with just mass CC. You have Nyla with her CC damage thingy majiggy ult, and then you have Nautilus, where a very well placed Nautilus ult can knock up an entire team. But at the opposing side, you have similar from the side of Fuel with the Braum ult as well as the Renekton. It's just their front line scares me. I do not want to square off against a Renekton, Braum, and a Skarner versus Purdue really just have Pantheon. I mean, Yone can frontline,
It's
kind
okay.
of, but
Purdue's
it's
got
a
Daisy.
Purdue's Daisy. You're right. It's a 6v5. I apologize.
I mean, gee
I
whiz.
It really is a 6v5. I forgot. I didn't forget about Daisy, but Daisy I think is a good front line. Is a giant meat shield. She's a rocky meatball. Does look like some early trading going on in the bot lane and in the top lane. Just a little bit. Just a little tickle with some very powerful magical abilities.
Yeah, Pantheon already getting that early level 2, zoning the Gwen off of the wave, making it so it's going to be really hard for her to walk up to get any XP. Gonna have to trade some life to get that golden XP.
I
And
would
it
almost
seems that it's the
sacrifice some
same
minions and
thing.
just continue farming under tower. Safe and sound under my tower.
And Purdue's bot lane seems to find themselves in the same situation where they're forced to play back to preserve their HP so they don't get pushed out of lane. It's
Which
fine
that's
though.
important. Yeah, Ezreal early game. It's a little bit scary. And I don't feel like Nyla gets unless you can snowball Nyla, you can't do much in my unprofessional gold opinion until you hit 6. But it does look like some heavy trades are going out from mid lane. Renekton does end up falling with the help of Ivern, but Yone's in trouble. He already had the flash, and so did Skarner because he was about to lose his life. And it does look like Renekton is going to just take that quick TP back to lane, and Yone is going to do a hard reset. This is a very brawly early game from both teams, a lot more so than in previous games.
I will say
Well,
one
the
thing that
previous
Purdue has
game.
going for them is that even at the very least, even with these characters getting kind of zoned off and getting bullied really hard, I would say at the very least, Neela is one of those characters with the way her passive works that Nautilus and Neela are going to find themselves getting XP at a faster rate in comparison to the Braum Ezreal. And as I say that, we're looking to get a big engage here from Nautilus and Ivern.
Rotation from both junglers, and it does look like Ezreal is gonna fall. Oh, that's unfortunate. And Skarner does as well. I'm curious if they're gonna tower dive this Braum. Maybe. Braum's just gonna back off as far as he can. Oh,
No,
maybe.
looks like they are setting it up
He is
though.
not. They are gonna set up for that tower dive. Braum misses his Q, but Ivern misses his roots. Ivern does fall courtesy of the tower damage, but that's honestly huge. Braum gets the 200-ish I'm rounding up 200 gold shutdown. So that's honestly huge for the side of Fuel. And even though Ivern did lose his life, I call that a win. They got 3 kills in exchange for 1, and the 1 kill that was given over was a shutdown to the Braum support. So I'd be very happy with that if I was Purdue. And we do have first dragon spawning. It is
That
a
is a
chem
kill
tech.
on the. Oh, he dodged the mistake.
Oh,
Wow, very well played with the
wow.
Yone on Purdue side. That's a
Just
good
barely
kill.
gets away with his life. That is so close. That was very close. Does look like the clutch from the Nautilus helped a little bit as well. Maybe some scare tactics, as I've been joking, within the last match. Does look like no teams are making a move to set up for the Drake. No immediate rush to kill it, and we have 6 kills at not even 6 minutes, and that's a 2k gold lead from Purdue. I think, it's just it's doesn't seem like a lot right now, but given the fact we're 6 minutes into the game, and that's a very scary
Skarner
number to
pulls
look
the
at. However,
Pantheon. There comes the
Skarner,
Gwen ult. Big damage. Pantheon need to block the Gwen ult. That's huge. Is he gonna be able to get out though?
he's not. It's a 2v1 in early game Pantheon. He does blow his flash as well. So that's, I believe, Void Grubs for the side of Fuel. It does
Is
look like Newt is going to
big
solo
hook.
them, but he is seen. Oh. And it does look like we're getting a rotation down from Ivern. Is this about to be another bot lane 3v3?
It's fun. There comes the
There's
Nile ult. That's a kill. That's 2.
That's 2. Yep.
And Neela gets out with her life.
Neela
Renekton
gets
comes
out
out.
with her life. RIP Nautilus, but I mean, I still see that as a win, and they are going to get
Absolutely.
away. The Ivern Flash, I believe, is going to stall. I mean, the Ivern Flash, the Ivern Root is going to stall enough for both him and the Nyla to get away safely. But it does look like Yone might be in danger. Ooh, looks like we are. Yone is stunned by the Renekton, but he does get away safely. Just gonna do a little bit extra poke damage. Remind the Renekton why he should not mess with the Yone. And Nautilus misses his flash. Misses his flash Q. Does end up getting a minion, but it doesn't even matter. The Renekton still falls, and Skarner tries to come in for backup, but too little, too late. It's not enough. Renekton falls, and Skarner gets. And the Yone gets away with about quarter HP. However, this Gwen might be in trouble. You have both Ivern and Nautilus lurking in the top side, ready to help Pantheon if he decides to go in on this Gwen. But I think they're just gonna opt for some intimidation tactics. Skarner does get rooted out of his little drive-by. And it looks like we're about to fight over these Void Grubs. Fuel already took 2, but yep, Phantom finds the Renekton, and it looks like, I believe, Eugene is going to be taking the last Void Grub. I'm a huge Tangled fan, so the name Eugene has a special place in my heart. Every time I hear it, I'm like, yep, Tangled. Does look like nothing too crazy right now going on in our bot side. Looks like just some trading. Right now, we still have that Chemtech Drake up. No team is in a immediate rush to take it, but Pantheon does land that stun on the Gwen. Braum misses his Q. Nautilus ults the Ezreal, but it looks like the Nyla Nyla is able to clutch it out with the barrier, has to flash away to safety. Ezreal queuing to save, Nautilus queuing to save his ADC. What a good support on the side of Fuel. Ezreal falls as well. Skarner lurked in the area to attempt to save the Ezreal, but again, too little too late. Ezreal does fall. And that does look like, looks like that is Dragon for the side of Purdue. Yes. The swaps, it just confuses me. I'm like, wait, let me make sure
Okay.
I got the
When
right
he's coming
team.
down, maybe looking at, nope, he ends up heading back over to the Drake. I was wondering if he was
He
going to
just
rotate
wanted to
down and
make
focus on
sure they
something.
knew to stay in the bot side. Yep, it looks like that's an easy, uncontested, clean Drake from the side of Purdue, and we're at 10 minutes, and we're at a 5k gold lead in favor of Purdue. Yone is trying to get this Renekton, but he misses, and Skarner comes in for backup. He says, "Get off my mid laner." And it looks like it is going to work. Little does Yone know there's a Braum lurking in the bush as well, so if he's not careful, he could end up getting collapsed on by 3 members of Fuel, and that looks like that's about to happen, but Nautilus is in the area. But backup is here. Renekton gets rooted. We get
There's the abduction.
One man suppress, yep. From the Skarner. Eugene grabs another kill. Ooh, the Ezreal ult just narrowly missing the Yone, who's looks like he might fall to our Skarner.
There's Daisy.
No, Daisy comes up just in time to protect.
Oh, the big engage from Yone off
it looks
of
like
that's a kill.
Huge engage from the side of Purdue. That's an awesome save. They not only both got away with their lives, but they were able to take one. In return, this is turning very quickly into a snowball on the side of Purdue. This gold lead is growing quicker and quicker by the minute. Over half of their players have a bounty.
If I've learned anything from watching Purdue, it's that this is what they excel at. They excel at a really strong early game and snowballing out of control. I mean, just last week alone, they had, I believe, like a 10k gold lead at 20 minutes. It was just unbelievable.
That's insane. That's crazy, and it looks like our Ezreal is about to lose his life. He got a little called out.
There's the redemption
just barely saving him from... sorry, that was the redemption from the enemy team. It looks like he barriered, and I just missaw. But yeah, the barrier does save him from that redemption damage. And it looks like there is a little bit of a fight going on in mid, and the Hex Flash going on. It looks like he tried to hit the Ezreal, but Braum body blocked it. Daisy now being deployed. They are gonna chase back down Fuel under tower, and we have a fight in the top side. Gwen falls down. Yone, it looks... He procced the Renekton, but it looks like he called back to his soul a little bit too early, or else I think he would have been able to get that kill as well. However, I think he is going to take the consolation prize of the turret plate. Kidding! He does end up taking HDK's life and is now on a rampage, but he might lose his own to the Skarner. Skarner gets 2 with his ult. They're currently fighting under tower. Braum ult goes down. Ignite goes on to the Nautilus. Redemption as well as his own shield saving him. Skarner drifting, potentially looking for a re-engage. Gwen coming in for backup. Hit them with the Gwen is immune.
Now opening a pick on Braum. That's 2, and that's 3. Neela getting a double. You got a 6-0 Neela at 15, almost 15 minutes with 2 items already.
That's a 10k gold lead at not even 15 minutes. This game is just Purdue's playing it immaculately, and it just feels like it's already over, to be honest. This would be a FF15 if I was playing it. That gold lead, like I said, it's just growing bigger and bigger, and is this even... Are they able to come back from this? And unless Purdue makes some massive mistakes, I'm unsure if they're gonna even be able to come back from this. This is just a huge gold lead, and this team is only going to get stronger as time goes on.
It definitely comes down to Purdue losing a lot of those shutdowns and honestly losing out on those objectives. But I think it's still possible. I think at the end of the day, it really just comes down to how well they close out the game. But if I know Purdue, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and it's going to be really hard to try and get that back.
Pantheon did get caught out a little bit, took some damage, but nothing too major. We do have our second dragon spawning, and it looks like Purdue may be sacrificing their Pantheon in favor of getting the dragon. But Pantheon is actually able to take one back. It looks like, wow, that was wonderfully played by the Pantheon. I did not think he was going to be able to win that 2v1. However, Yone is fighting the Gwen. Bot side is able to win the 1v1 with the Gwen, but now he has to deal with the Skarner. Yone ults the redemption coming down from the Ivern, but it's not enough. It is enough to save his mid laner, but not enough to save his own life, and he does fall. It looks like that is going to be Dragon and a tier 2 bot tower in favor of the side of Purdue. I told you the snowball keeps getting bigger and bigger. This gold lead's now at 12k and over 20 more kills on the side of Purdue. Does look like Renekton is going to get caught out on the top side, but we're having a TP come in from the Gwen. Pantheon ulting in as well to see if they can either get this Renekton or the Pantheon. It's a 4v1. I think the Gwen just TP'd to her death. Renekton said, sorry girl, you are on your own. Does look like
Skarner looks like he's
Raw May does lose his life.
Gets a pick on the... There we go. Nautilus is caught out. That's a big surprise.
That's a big Skarner ult. Nuke does end up taking the Nautilus down, and it looks like
1, 2.
This was the mistake that Fuel was looking for. They grab 2 in this fight, and while it's not the 2 heavy hitter.
That's a kill.
Oh, and that's
2. Look at that
shield. The backup is insane. Ezreal does shut down the Nyla. That is huge. The stun on the Yone, he just barely gets out. Has to flash over the wall, and it does look like Gwen might lose her life again. Yone's going in for the re-engage. Ults in, does take that Gwen down. Oh, girl, you just got back from base. Ezreal is low, so is Braum. I wonder if Yone's going to try re-engage for the 3rd time. It looks like he is. He does take the Ezreal with him. Is he going for... I think he's trying for the Braum as well, but he times out of his soul. He has to go back. Renekton TP's in. I think he's going to chase down this Ivern.
He's not going to find him either. That's unfortunate.
Skarner does not have ult yet either, or else I would have just driven in and ulted him. Yone TP's back into the fight, and he's about to slay this Renekton. Renekton does end up falling down, so does the Skarner. I think this game is just GG's at this point. Ezreal tries to find the Ivern with his ult, but comes up just shy. They do grab that tier 2 turret in the mid lane. They are pinging the Rift Herald. They have about 1 minute before that Rift Herald turns into Baron. I wonder if they are gonna try to kill it before it does swap over. Yone looks like he's hungry for more. He's has to go back to his soul. He just tried to get some damage down to this Gwen. This poor Gwen is just getting bullied. It does look like they are gonna try and take this Rift Herald though. They only have I guess 0 more seconds, so they did end up killing it. Skarner goes to his wolves to find out it's empty. Pantheon is going in on that solo ult on 3 of them, but backup is nearby. Redemption coming down to do a huge hunk of healing to his game. Yuki does take down the Braum, and it looks like they're coming for more. Oh, the flash done onto the Ezreal, but Skarner's there to body block, but it may end up costing him
in there?
his life. It does. Gwen and both the Ezreal are in the tower, but the tower still has about a quarter HP with no minions nearby, but they're going to summon the Rift Herald to try and body block this Rift Herald. Gwen is stunned. Gwen is dead.
That's a double, and I think that's just going to be game.
I think you're right. I think this is game. Mid inhib is down. They have Shelly. Tokyo drifting all the way through their base. Daisy does come down to try and tank this tower turret. Renekton, big stun, gets the Renekton off of that. Yeah, I think this is just gonna be game.
Another really crazy route. Oh my goodness. Big engage.
Wow.
Nautilus goes out.
Nautilus ult goes out. Skarner misses his ult. Does not get anybody in that. However, tower damage is able to help kill this Pantheon. Yone's low. Yone is dead. That's a huge shutdown from the Gwen, but it does look like she might fall. Nope, not yet. That's a double kill, maybe? That's at least 1 kill from the Braum. Nope, he's not going to be able to chase down the Ivern, but I think he's going to try. Oh, and it does look like the ulti does come from the Braum to take the shutdown off of the Ivern, and it does look
almost
like
finding the Neela.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Balanced. All I have to say.
Patented Renekton EE combo.
Actually, not. I'm surprised that. Oh, Skarner's looking. Skarner wants that Nyla. She's able to get away just in time. The cheese. The Draven thumbs up as she was going back to base. That's diabolical behavior. I approve.
Doesn't look like Purdue is opting to do the drag here.
Yep, Dragon is up. It is going to be another Infernal Soul for this game. But I'm unsure if we're even going to get to Soul Point. This gold lead is now sitting at 14k, and I know Peel was able to get a bunch of kills earlier in their base, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think that if it is, then I'm going to be so surprised, but it looks like I think they are going to collapse on this Pantheon. This Pantheon is running. This man gets suppressed, stunned into a wall. He has Yone to come and help, but just a little bit too late. The Redemption coming in to try to heal him a little bit. It's Yone versus 5. He flashes away to try and avoid the CC. Backup is here, though. Braum ult goes down. Nautilus Q hits. Daisy comes out. Renekton falls. This team is just getting picked off one by one. It looks like the TP from Yone going into the mid inhib. The GG well played coming in from the Gwen. I think they know it's over. Wow. Wow, I thought there was a chance there for a second. It does look like they're going to try to get the
No! Just end the game!
No! What? Just end the game! Oh my goodness!
No, what are we doing? Is that the game? Oh my goodness!
Oh, it just feels like they're playing with their food at this point. They're trying to take the bot.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. Oh my goodness. The heart attack I just had. Seeing both of them die to the Nexus.
Unbelievable.
Wow. That was a crazy end to this match. It's going to be a 2-0 victory in favor of Purdue. Oh my goodness. This game, they ended with, it was 54.6 6K gold to 38 K gold. I am no math major, so I'm quickly pulling out my calculator. So 50. That is a
Almost.
16K gold lead.
Yeah.
Wow, on the side of Purdue. I think Fuel felt every bit of that 16K gold lead as well. It just felt like once that Yone and the Nyla got ahead just even a little bit, they just couldn't respond. They didn't have an answer to it.
No,
Which,
definitely.
yeah. They just didn't have an answer to it. They didn't have a way to shut it down, and I think they tried, but it didn't work out. They couldn't get who they really needed to get ahead in this fight. In this game was the Renekton and the Skarner, because those were going to be those heavy frontliner CC champs that were going to lock down this Nyla, and they just weren't able to get it done, unfortunately. And that is going to be our game 2 and final game
Yeah, that'll be
of
all she wrote
this
for that
series.
set.
Yeah.
Still though, all in all, very well played by both teams. Phenomenal game, really fun to watch.
Yeah, that was a crazy last 30 seconds. I think that was. My heart is still racing watching the two of them. Watching the two of them fall to that Nexus turret. And I do believe that is going to be it for the night. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to watching Purdue University as well as Fuel play for the Knights. My name was Blythe Knight, and with me tonight was
Koji.
drumroll. Yes, it was awesome to cast for you all. I hope you all have a fun and safe Friday, and go Wasps. That's my mascot for my university.
Well, folks, that'll be all for us tonight. Stay safe, be cool,
And have a good
have a
night.
great